down in the neutral zone. Here's Mennigan in across.
Elena Orlando in that club as well, although not all 5 seasons with the Connecticut Whale.
An original riveter.
That's right.
Was Elena Orlando. Came over to Connecticut for year 2, and they played in North Branford. The late offside call. The Whale get it out to center. They were looking to lead the puck ahead for Schwensfire. Couldn't catch up to it. Mennigan drops that back. Pitched up the wall by Beatty, and Mennigan will jam that in. Newman tried to settle it down behind the net. Coming over after it is Sarah Bustad, number 88, and she has had a decent season so far with 4 points in 6 games. You have a number of players on both teams that are certainly putting points up on the board. That's never a surprise from a Buffalo Beauts team, especially in the past couple of years, but perhaps a little bit more so for Connecticut, as we've talked about already.
Indeed, and welcome everyone. We hear that the sound is coming back. At least that's what we're getting in the chat. Happy to be back with you for another Connecticut Whale home game.
Hopefully it is really coming back, or they're just being polite to us. Because we've got the best fans on Twitch, don't we?
Oh, absolutely.
Here's a chance in the slot. Stopped by Kelsey Newman. The rebound loose out in front. Sprawling out was Newman. Somehow the Whale couldn't find the net. That was a good chance from point-blank range by Morissette. And we get a stoppage here with 11:52 to go in the first.
You know, you saw there that Kelsey Newman out of position, but something that the Buffalo Beauts have struggled with is having someone else step up. I believe it was Bustad that was able to get in there and make a save, had one similar to that last night as well. That's been a weakness, I think, of this Buffalo Beauts team, is just making sure that after those second and third shots come in, they have defenders helping out their goalie.
Oh, we got a tie up along the left wing side. Orlando pinching deep. By the way, Ann Bonnie's in the chat wondering, how do we manage tracking everyone on the screen? She's trying. Sometimes the turnovers are so complicated. Here's a loose puck out in front. I think it just comes from watching a lot of hockey. I think this is my 17th or 18th season calling hockey at all different levels. So part of it is just kind of like learned memory and being a fan over a long period of time. And I'm sure it's not 18 years for you, Erica, but you've been doing this long enough to where you can certainly follow as well.
Oh, well, I just follow you, Phil. That's how I learned.
Well, you're a pro's pro. You work for basically every team in the league now, it seems. We've cloned Erica. She has been cloned, telling everyone on Twitch. She was in Boston last night. Here's a one-timer by Doyle, and it comes in high. Casey Anderson, flanked by 2 baby blue sweaters behind the net, gathered up by Skarbowski as it's led up the boards. And now McPherson from the circle, pass out in the slot. Oh, that was really well defended by Schwensfire for Connecticut, and Brickner will play it back in the corner. The Whale come out to center. It's a pretty fast pace here in this first period. Shots are 6-2 in favor of the home Whale. Mennigan in deep. Backhand pass out in front, and the shot came in high from Anderson. Oh. That one was teed up on a platter for Casey Anderson, who's got a goal this season, nearly at a second.
That was a really good setup. And, you know, talking about the improvements or the way that this Connecticut Whale is a little bit different than other teams, it's stuff like that, Phil. Being able to make those passes, having the confidence to make those passes. Now they just have to finish up. But I think that this is a Connecticut team that's looking to score, and they have the capability of scoring. Casey Anderson, as you mentioned, one of those players.
Lenka Kermova taking the puck away from Maddie Evangelis, rotated back around to the near side as Buffalo trying to break that Whale forecheck. And Kersey, who's got good speed down the left wing, pass in the slot, back checked away. Big drive by Kermova, unable to find the net. And Peltier from the right point, all 4'11" of her, able to shovel it down the boards. And there's a try from the right side. Little one-timer by the Buffalo captain, Bowie, but couldn't find the net and poked out of the zone. Out to center ice by Morissette. Buffalo looks to counter back the other way. Chipped out of the zone. Coming after the puck is Sarah Hewson, but the Beauts able to dump it back in. And Shelley will settle things down, and now it is Doyle. Center to Vlasic. Little give and go back to the left wing side. Skating across was Hewson. She's offside with 9:50 to play in this first period. Still scoreless here in Danbury, and you're watching the NWHL on Twitch. Media timeout. Lobbed in from the center circle and blocker to side as it's played back along the left wing. 9:40 to play in the first period. It's scoreless. Bustad in behind the Beauts net. Advance up the near wing side, stolen by Kleinbach. Now in the corner, it's Vlasic. Tried to steer it up the wall. And it's passed out to center ice. Beauts will play it in. Candace Sheriff still looking for her first point of the season. Centering feed, no one home. And Houston will drop it back. You're watching the NWHL on Twitch. Welcome to everyone in the chat. Erica and Phil with you on the broadcast today. And we are definitely talking with you as the game goes on. Feel free to throw some questions in the chat comments. We'll definitely get to them throughout the course of today's broadcast. Also, Erica is going to have intermission interviews after the first and second periods. Not sure yet who we're going to talk to, but as we get close to the end of the period, maybe either a request. I don't know if we can grant that, but certainly if you have questions for our to-be-named interview guests, Erica.
That's right.
You can throw them in the chat, and we'll see if it all kind of matches up and works out.
Hashtag Ask the Athlete. Let us know what you want to know.
Orzechowski in across the line. The former RPI product took it down the wing, banked out to center ice, and Skarbowski gets a clear out to center, but the puck is stolen. Skating across is Schwensfire. Had someone at the point lose puck. Anderson tried to slide a shot through. It was blocked in front of Kelsey Newman. And the Beauts will play out to center ice, but Connecticut doing a good job of bottling up the neutral zone. Here's a chance for Medigan, and it was a bouncing shot. It tipped off the stick of Cassidy McPherson at first. And now the cross-ice pass hit off his stick, regained in the neutral zone. And Evangelos will feed it back to Doyle in her own zone. Across now for Orlando. Lifted into the Beauts end. It gets through one defender, and Bowie will come all the way back to play that one. Looks to drop it off. Good work there by Skarbowski. But the Whale get it back, fed it out between the circles, and taken ahead by Kersey, looking to center a long sprint pass ahead for Klimasova, but the Whale able to deftly get to that one out at center ice, and they regain it behind the net, and Doyle will play it for Connecticut as we've got 7:25 to go in this first period.
And so far, we're seeing that the home team, the Connecticut Whale, at least unofficially and what we're being shown, are leading in shots on goal. That's something that the Buffalo Beauts definitely were not able to beat out the Boston Pride on that last night. And again, they're getting beat here today, at least unofficially. So, but that bodes well for Connecticut looking for their first win.
Well, Drake Smith, 12, wants a Matt Hattie from the Whale today. And they want to win. The Whale want to win as well. Still searching for victory number 1 on the season. They are 0-2-1 against this Buffalo team. They've only faced the Whale and the Whitecaps so far this season. Kleinbach with a step, walking in front, a shot, and a good save made by Kelsey Newman. I apologize. I'm sort of new to Twitch. I think we all kind of are. But I do believe you can clip your own highlights.
That's correct.
So fans can clip highlights. We'd love for you fans in the chat to clip, whether it's a save, whether it's a good shot on goal, whether it's a goal. Maybe it's a body check, which of course might result in a 2-minute penalty. But, sometimes some big hits. Speaking of penalties, we got the game's first penalty coming up as a Buffalo player got dumped down in her own zone. And it's a body check. Look at that, right on cue. It's 6.5 to play. Jordan Brickner is the guilty party. But yeah, definitely clip those highlights, post them on your profile. We want to see them.
Phil mentions penalties. We get a penalty. It's good to have the man and the legend back in the booth. He makes it happen, folks.
So Brickner with the body check, and we'll see Buffalo on the power play. They're at 28%, and a lot of that damage done against Connecticut, only 48% on the penalty kill. It was one of the keys, Erica, that we said for today's game, stay out of the penalty box.
That's correct.
And unfortunately, the Whale haven't done that, but they get a good clear.
Mike Murphy's telling you to start talking about goals, Phil.
Oh, we can start talking about goals. We're looking for the game's first goal in the chat. It'd be great to see your predictions. Who will get the game's first goal? As Peltier skates it down the boards, cut off in the corner by Shannon Doyle. Kersey will come over for it. Back up the boards to Kermova at the blue line to the half wall, and Kersey will shovel it in deep. Right now, the Whale keeping Buffalo to the perimeter, which is what they want to do. Peltier back to the left side, give and go with a Kersey, and the point shot steered aside by Shelley. Good stick save, and you saw what Buffalo was trying to do there. Get it up top, flash bodies in front, and screen the goaltender. Pretty basic stuff.
Indeed, but Sonia Shelley was up to the task as we have a little call and response between our PA and the crowd. Shout out to Team She Is, Phil, who is here in the audience. They've come to take in an NWHL game.
That is fantastic. We love when the fans come out in person. We love all our fans watching on Twitch TV, and they do watch from all over the world as that one swung on and missed by Brooke Stacy in the right wing circle. One of the more dynamic players in the league this season. Her first year in the league, 6 goals. Second in the NWHL in that department.
Pretty good.
Back in the right wing corner, Cassidy McPherson trying to create some time and space. Fed back to the point. 40 seconds remaining in the Brickner penalty, and she's normally out there killing penalties as well, but for the moment, Connecticut doing a solid job of keeping the puck out of the net while on the disadvantage. And here's Brooke Stacy once again. Played back toward the blue line. Little pass down in the circle, broken up from Stacy, regained behind the net by Erin Guillen. Looking to feed that out in front. Pass in there was a great chance for Brooke Stacy. A wide open net with Shelley going post to post, and she missed it. And a break for the Connecticut Whale as Klimasova keeps it in at the blue line with 8 left in the penalty. Lobs a shot that knuckled down and was blocked before it got to the goaltender. The Whale get it clear. And from the left wing side, the cross-ice pass allows Buffalo to enter the zone. McPherson down the boards, tied up by Taylor Marchin. Now March back to the circle, hit off a teammate of Buffalo on his shot. That was Erin Guillen, who blocked her own teammate's shot. Now cleared out the center, and Schwensfire will race ahead through the neutral zone. Here's Sheriff Schwensfire trying to walk in front. Good stick check there by the goaltender, Kelsey Newman. As we come up on 4 minutes to play in the first period, here's a turnover, and the rink-wide pass off the near wing boards is played back toward the blue line. Shannon Doyle, nice keep in at the blue line. Moves it down. Little give and go. Quick shot, and all right there, the Whale had a great scoring chance at the doorstep. That was Casey Anderson. Her second great look in this first period, Erica, both with yawning nets, and she couldn't bury it.
We've been seeing in the chat, Whale are hungry. Casey Anderson's hungry for a goal.
Kendra Broad tried to feather a feed down in front for Medigan, cleared out to center ice. And Buffalo has it pitchforked away. Line change. Jumping on, good pass up the middle. Here is Broad. Broad trying to walk in, poked away from her, and now Jane Morissette with it in the slot for Evangelos, and the shot was disrupted from behind by Karine Bowie. 3:10 to play in this first period. Get those questions lined up for our intermission guest. Here's a turnover in front. Oh, Evangelos couldn't get to that stick. A very nice recovery by Buffalo right at the top of the doorstep by the veteran Bowie.
This is what you want to see from this Connecticut team coming off the PK. Now they're being aggressive in their zone, getting those shots up.
Puck in the corner. We do have Erms _. I hope that's how you pronounce it. Asking if Colton Orr is with the Whale yet. No, he's still not behind the bench. I don't know if he's coached any practices.
He has.
Just yet. He has coached practices, still waiting for his first game. Erica broke the news at the start about him being, his hometown being honored by the CBC this weekend.
As I understand it. So congrats to Coach, but we miss you. Miss you on game day. But I understand he has been with the team for practice, but unfortunately for us, I should say, had to return back home.
I think he had a longer stint on Battle of the Blades than everyone expected. As here's a chance here by Kleinbach. Tried to lead it back to the left side for Houston. The Whale end up offside with 2:02 to go in the first. Okay, we have a question about the key for the Whale improving the penalty kill. Well, they're 1 for 1 so far on the kill, and perhaps we can figure out if they've made any adjustments during the week or last couple of weeks. The Whale haven't played since October 27th when they lost 3-2 to Minnesota. So this will be the first game since then, first game of November, as Buffalo ices the puck with 1:53 left in the period.
That's right, and we will hear from someone from the Buffalo Beauts after this period. So if you have any Beauts-specific questions, pop them in the next 53 seconds. seconds.
Dan Law, 83, excited that we're both broadcasting and talking to the fans, because that's what it's all about here on Twitch, right? So here's Brickner moving it down as we have 1:48 to play in the period. Houston trying to cut to the forehand. Brickner chips it toward the circle, but Buffalo able to recover. Lenka Kermova looking to get the puck out on his second effort. Shoveled ahead for Brooke Stacy. Oh, here's a 3-on-1 for Buffalo. Stacy to McPherson, and mistimed the pass back to Aaron Guillen on the right side. And an odd skater rush has been foiled by Buffalo's own doing. Brickner in deep behind the net for Doyle. The two 5-year veterans out there for Connecticut. It feels like a million years ago when you go back to 2015 in that first game in Stamford between the Whale and the then New York Riveters. And, you know, at that point, they were both in the lineup as well.
Yes, indeed.
Shot in from center ice on Brooke Stacy with 61 seconds to play in the first period. So Erica is going to go downstairs. I think she's been able to jot a couple of questions down that hopefully we'll be able to get in during the intermission, and who that guest is. Erica will be the one introducing.
Last minute of play.
So the final minute here of the first period, it's just us for the next 60 seconds as Erica going down for the intermission interview. Whale get it clear. Bustad racing back after that puck. Good job by Mennigan to close that gap, showing some speed as the Whale pressuring in on the forecheck. And now coming over is Sheriff Swensfire trying to battle that puck in the corner, but Buffalo able to skate it out of harm's way through the neutral zone. Shot in, a little stand up along the line by Elena Orlando's, what you would call a quintessential shutdown defender, often tasked with kind of checking the best player from the opposing team offensively. And as it's worked back around to the near side, so as a result, she's always facing the best players in the league. Here's a Kersey, looks to flip a pass in front of the backhand try by Brooke Stacy at the doorstep, misfired. And now a rink-wide pass as Mennigan looks to skate that down in the Buffalo zone. Gets to it near the corner to negate the icing against Orzechowski. The horn will sound, and we are through 20 minutes of play. Nothing is your score here at the Danbury Arena in Danbury, Connecticut. Shots on goal in the first period, 8 for visiting Buffalo. A lot of those came on their only power play of the first 20 minutes, and 7 for the Connecticut Whale. That's a good comment by Selenic Dave. No matter how this game goes, we'll likely still have an unpredictable third period with potentially 7 goals. And there's nothing wrong with that. You get to see a little bit of everything. Maybe a goaltending battle for one period, and then you got, Goalapalooza later on in the game. So, that could definitely happen for, Best Kessel run, saying the Beauts are shooting themselves in the foot, messing up their own rush and missing on passes. Got to settle things down. That's a good point. They've had a couple of odd skater opportunities. They had chances on the power play. Brooke Stacy, half a dozen goals on the season, had 2 or 3 really good scoring chances in the opening 20 minutes of play. The Whale, the recipients of some puck luck as they are trying to get their first victory of the season. But we're just going to stick around here until Erica is set with our first intermission guest, and she does have her iPad with her, so she can see if you have any questions. She can definitely see them and hopefully work them in, as we've got an intermission game. Our sponsor, Chipwich. It's my first game at the arena here this season, so I'll be watching this promotion as well. Yeah, I do love the music here at the Danbury Arena. Full disclosure, in one of my past broadcasting lives, I worked a lot in this building. I was the play-by-play voice of the Danbury Trashers, an old United Hockey League team. So I know the building well. They've always had great music, and I think we're ready now to throw it downstairs. Here's Erica with our first intermission guest.
Bustad of the Buffalo Beauts. Now, you guys had a game last night, and you're here this afternoon. We had a question in the chat. How much pasta or other carbs did you have to eat to get ready for today?
Yeah, we had some carbs before the game. Got ready to go.
But seriously, getting back to the game here, right now scoreless, what do you think that the Buffalo Beauts did well in that first period, and how would you like to see the team convert and get a goal in the second?
Yeah, we need to work on our turnovers, and then we need to get some more shots that'll turn into some scoring chances.
And then finally, I get you out of here on this. Last night and again today, you made some critical saves in front of your goalie to make sure that it stayed scoreless. Just as someone that, you know, is down there on the blue line or defending, what do you try to focus on to make sure you're backing up your goalie?
Yeah, picking up sticks in front of the net and making sure that we move people out of the way so the goalie can see the shots.
Well, we'll see you out on the ice for a second period.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Erica. That was Erica downstairs. Our first as they get set for the intermission game, brought to you by Chipwich. And by the way, you know, when we talk about sponsoring the NWHL, remember half of all revenues from advertising sales and promotions and all that stuff, they go directly to the players, including the sponsorship by Chipwich that we have here for today. That also counts for merchandise, so make sure you get your merch today. You could just hover over the screen, click on the merchandise panel below. You can shop now, so you know if it's jerseys, that money goes a percentage directly to the player as well, so you can directly support your favorite players just by purchasing some merch, and let us all know who you all enjoy. So we are through one period of play. No score here in Danbury, Connecticut. So Erica doing double duty, running downstairs. Fun times.
Oh, always fun times. So I was able to speak with Sarah Bustad, and she's actually listed as a forward defender here. Wanted to ask her about getting in front of net, making sure she's helping out her goalie. So, you know, she's pretty straightforward to the point, wants to see more shots on net, wants to make sure that they're cleaning up on any turnovers and any mistakes, mental errors that they're making in order to get on the board today.
Yeah, and you know, Bess Kesselrun, I just made a great point in the chat about, you know, Buffalo needing to just kind of settle down. I mean, they've had some great A scoring chances in the first 20 minutes of play. This easily could be 2 or 3-0.
And again, yeah, that's something that this Buffalo Beauts team and Bustad, she mentioned that, just making sure that they're settling in, staying focused. We know that traditionally, and again this year, the Buffalo Beauts are a team that they can be dangerous, but it's a matter of if they're hitting that gear every time they hit the ice.
Yeah, they certainly have to do that. And, well, we've got the second period coming up in just a little bit. Erica and I will step aside, and when we return, it will be the start of the second period. It is scoreless in Danbury through one. Don't go anywhere. Keep chatting. We're watching the chat, even though we may not be on the microphones, and we'll either type or we'll talk more stuff with you guys and gals and everyone else tuning in today on the broadcast. You're watching the NWHL and chatting on the NWHL on Twitch. And we're back at the Danbury Ice Arena. Phil Jubileo and Erica Ayala with you on Twitch as we get set for the start of the second period. Still scoreless. The Whale will skate from right to left here in the middle 20, and they control the opening faceoff. Don't forget to join us in the chat on Twitch. By the way, as the puck is iced, a pro tip, apparently, if you have an Amazon Prime account, and you maybe have a Twitch account but not a Twitch Prime account, you can link the two, and then just like that, you become a Twitch Prime member.
Look at this, Phil, with all the nuggets.
I got that from the chat. I read the chat. That's how I get the details. Everyone's teaching me as we go through. This is my first Twitch broadcast as Kleinbach looks to clear the zone, looking ahead for Sarah Hewson, and then back pressured away by Karine Bowie. Now it's a Kersey centering ahead. In across the line is Klimasova, and her shot from the slot is blocked. Buffalo looking to come out. Here's a backhand chance, and they score. They go top shelf. Sprawling out to her left was Sonia Shelley, but just 31 seconds in, Buffalo gets on the board, and it's Taylor Kersey with her third goal of the season.
You know, and shame on me for not mentioning Taylor Kersey earlier, Phil, because she's definitely been a player that has been able to get things going for these Buffalo Beauts. As you mentioned, Sonia Shelley in position, makes the initial save, and then Taylor Kersey is able to find that rebound, and she lifts the puck in order to get the Buffalo Beauts on the board.
And that's the thing. You had those chances. Both teams had them in the first period. I think of Casey Anderson's chances, maybe gripping the stick a little bit too tightly, lifting those pucks up, and then Buffalo back the other way. Brooke Stacy just missing the net on a couple of chances. No missing there that time for the veteran Kersey.
Not at all.
So Buffalo striking first, and they are unbeaten when they get the game's first goal. But that's only happened once for them this season. Anderson tried to center a pass taken back the other way by Megan DeLay, and the Beauts will skate it in. Bustad trying to center the pass free, but it is stripped, and the Whale will play it out through the neutral zone. Mennigan centering feed taken by Bustad and dumped up the far wing boards. Racing back after it is Jordan Brickner. No icing here. And along the near wing side, it's Evangelist clearing it out. And then tripped up at the line on a head pass was Schwensfire. Couldn't connect with her target. And the Beauts will center it ahead. Nice play by Evangelist off the skate. Here come the Whales skating it in. A step out in front, a quick shot. Newman the save. A great chance, one of the better ones here for Connecticut. That was Kayla Mennigan at the top of the crease and fired it right into the breadbasket of Kelsey Newman. Sharp angle try. Loose puck out in front, shot. Oh, sprawling out. Another big save by Kelsey Newman, as that time it was Maddie Evangelist.
Kelsey Newman looking good for the Buffalo Beauts. And, you know, as we were having that interview with Sarah Bustad, as we were getting ready, you saw that Mandy Cronin, who is the general manager of this Buffalo Beauts team, but also a goalie coach, she was talking to Newman, gave her some tips, liked what she saw, also asked her to clean up a few things, and Newman is up to the task.
By the way, on the Kersey goal, it was Kermova and Klimasova getting the assist on Taylor Kersey's third.
Slovak connection, eh?
Yeah, they work out the primary and secondary. And we get a penalty here, and it's going to be on the visitors as Skarboski goes to the box here. So the Whale will get their first power play, just 10% for them. We talked about the penalty kill, Erica, being a work in progress. Same goes for the power play.
Indeed.
They'll work the perimeter. Back up top for Brickner. She's paired with Doyle. They work the points. Brickner with it across to the left side. Doyle with a drive, and it went wide. Kleinbach was there, couldn't get a redirect at the doorstep. Good keep in here by Brickner. Now over to Doyle, D to D, but some interference there by Kim Brown, was able to step in front. And now Brown battling, has that puck shorthanded from the circle, races in, and Stacy makes the save as the Whale look to get out of danger. So a big scoring chance, shorthanded for the Buffalo Beauts. Neither team with a shorthanded goal in this game. The Whitecaps, the only team in the league with a shorthanded goal, as it's played back to the Whale line, and Brickner will feed it back. Minute left in the penalty on Rochelle Skarboski. And good work by Ashley Birdsall, the two-way player, forward defender, and working shorthanded on that forecheck to keep the Whale pinned back in their zone. So, Erica, we have yet to see the cohesion on this power play from Connecticut. And now another short-handed chance. A blocker save on the shot by Cassidy McPherson.
And Brickner trying to box out there. Took a pretty big hit there, but she's up and moving.
And we play on. Through the neutral zone, it's Doyle in across the line. Doyle drops it off. A little confusion there, but jumping on Anderson, they may get, they're going to get a stoppage in play. Is it going to be an offside? Nope, maybe too many skaters on the ice, and we'll see. I thought that was a little bit of a confusing line change, Erica.
Yes, indeed. You saw that puck was left off. And we just saw the goal replay there, and it looked like it was actually Kleinbach that batted that puck back toward Taylor Kersey for that first goal.
Oh, there's still a little bit of confusion here. I think we're waiting for a Whale player to take it to the penalty box. The faceoff's going to be back in the Connecticut zone, and we will see 4-on-4 hockey. And the ref is telling Laura Brennan, get someone in the penalty box. And it looks like it's going to be Elena Galtieri, who just joined the team. This is her first game. I don't think she took a shift in the first period, but she'll serve this penalty.
Wearing 18 for the Connecticut Whale.
So 3:37 time of the penalty. Too many skaters on the ice. And we'll see 4-on-4 for 18 seconds before the Beauts will get their second power play. It is controlled by Buffalo. Shot down the boards by Kermova. And then fished off the wall by the Whale as they get it out to center ice. Trying to advance with Schwensfire. Interrupted by a Kersey. Taken in across the line by Marchand, but given away and cleared out to the neutral zone where Orlando has it and will lob it in off the outstretched glove of Lenka Kermova.
Connecticut penalty, a bench minor, 2 minutes for too many players on the ice.
So too many on the ice for the Whale. Here is Bowering, centered ahead, across the line. Kersey will feed it back to Bowering, and now to Kermova. Give and go. Bowering at the half board, pass in the slot, looking for Bowie. Puck batted around a bit and cleared out nicely by Sarah Schwensfire. Another minute and 10 remaining in the skater advantage here for Buffalo. We talked about their near 30% on the power play. 0 for 1 here in this afternoon's contest. And settled down by Kelsey Newman. Beauts out to center, led by Bowie. As Bowering alongside with the Kersey. Bowie will bring it out wide. Drop back to a Kersey. Fished off the boards again. And that time, Sarah Houston, Erica, gets it clear. It's a much better penalty kill from Connecticut. And the puck is nearly coughed up. Houston tries to get to it. Skating after it, Doyle. She's shorthanded. Chips it in behind the net. Looked to feather a pass out in front. Interrupted by McPherson. Doyle back with it. Sent through the crease, taken back by Buffalo, and the Beauts will race ahead to center. The pass for Brooke Stacy up the wing. A little bit too far, and Aaron Hall will play it in behind the Whale net with 15 remaining in their penalty. Here's Bustad down the right wing side. Takes it all the way deep to the circle. A shot save made by Shelley as she fought that off. And then back straight away to the right side. As Brooke Stacy still with the puck on a string with a wrist shot. Bouncing puck, and it's gloved in the air by Stacy. That penalty comes to an end.
You saw that the Connecticut Whale were able to get a little aggressive shorthanded there. That's a good sign. This team, I think, they're feeling good. They're coming into this game feeling good, wanting to get something done. They're hungry for a goal and then some. So that's good to see from this Connecticut team. Now it's a matter of how the Buffalo Beauts will respond with this 1-goal lead.
Just to answer a question from the chat, Brian's 44 wants to know, do they have the trapezoid rule in this league? They do not, as it mirrors NCAA college rules in that respect. And now out to center ice, coming with it are the Beauts. Played in across the line, a poke check, but Buffalo able to keep the zone. 6 minutes into the second period, good work by Orlando in the corner. As she looks to skate out to center, nearly had it back checked away, shoveled ahead. The Whales stand up at the line. We get it a late offside. It was almost negated. I thought Kim Brown did get a touch on that puck, but we'll bring the face off out to center ice.
right before that goal, we saw that Shannon Doyle actually had a really nice block in front of net, and want to give her a shout out for her Blocks for Books. That's a campaign she's got going, and her GoFundMe, I think, had a little bit of a glitch, but seems to be up and running again, so support the captain.
That's a painful charity in that respect. That's how the money gets raised. You got to take hard pieces of vulcanized rubber all over. You get welts, all sorts of stuff. Those pads only protect so much, fans. And those of you in the chat that play hockey, I'm sure, understand that if you've blocked a shot, it can certainly hurt. As Beatty trying to keep the puck in along the left wing side. But absolutely big props to the captain of this Connecticut team as she's jamming down low trying to get that puck to the net. Good keep in here as it's Evangelos. Makes a move to her right. The backhand swept out in front. It drifts wide by Newman, who ends up getting knocked down. We play on. The late penalty, it's going to be on Buffalo. Shelley to the bench for the extra skater. Maddie Evangelos worked back around. Now to the blue line for Marchand. Whale looking for the equalizer. Down 1-0. Back to the right point. The drive was blocked, but no possession here from Buffalo. Shannon Doyle with it. Much more offensive this season as she races to the slot. Great leg save made by Kelsey Newman. Touched up in the corner by Bowie. And a body check will be called on Buffalo.
And that was Evangelos. She is a player that came in first as a PTO and then earned a contract. And yeah, she got bodied in open ice there, but was able to draw a penalty. And now the Connecticut Whale will see what they can do on the skater advantage. Klimasova, part of that Slovakian connection that Erica referred to earlier, takes the penalty. And the faceoff will be to the right of Newman as Emma Vlasic will take the faceoff for Connecticut. And they drop the puck, one back to the blue line. Doyle winds and holds. Looks to shake off a Buffalo defender. That was McPherson in the corner. Houston briefly at it. Pinching was Doyle. Buffalo able to get it out. Brickner will hustle back after it. Shelley way out of the crease. And when someone was asking about the trapezoid rule in the Men's National Hockey League, where they do have the trapezoid rule, you can't do that, which is go all the way to the corner and play the puck. You have to stay in a trapezoid that's formed right behind the net. From the left point, Doyle tried a little shot pass down low. Vlasic couldn't get to that puck in time. So no trapezoid to me is a lot of fun because that allows the goaltender to essentially be kind of like a third defender on the breakout. You're a really good puck handling goaltender. You can make plays like Sonia Shelley just did a few moments ago. Get that puck in the corner and kind of start your breakout. Puck in along the blue line. Good work by the Beauts penalty kill to get that clear. As the puck is controlled by Doyle in behind her net. Both teams are changing up. Marchand will join the power play for Connecticut, and she'll lead the breakout for the Whale. Outlet ahead. Through the neutral zone, Kleinbach. Down the right wing side as Schwensfire in the slot. Good work here as Kleinbach feeds it back to the point. Elena Orlando trying to skate down the left wing side. Gets shoved to the boards by Brown. 35 seconds left to the Buffalo penalty. Bustad with it in the corner. She'll skate out with it shorthanded through the neutral zone. 3-on-2 here, potentially now a 2-on-3 shot from the wing by Bustad, hit off the side of the goal. They jam away by Sonia Shelley, but taken away by Marchand as we are a little over 9 minutes into this second period. Skated in by Anderson on a pass to the right wing side. Looking in front, cutting toward the net was Sarah Schwensfire. Couldn't get the puck on it. Now working to the slot. Madigan with a shot, missed the post. Now thrown back out in front. That was a great centering feed by Marchand, but Buffalo breaks it up. They ice the puck down the length. Shelley out of the crease will play it around her net. And now both teams are 0 for 2 on the power play in this game. From this circle, little battle for control between the number 8s, Klimasova and Erin Hall. The Whale pass out to center. About half a stride late for Connecticut to get to it. Puck ends up in the bench with 10:14 to go in the second period. Still a 1-0 Buffalo lead as they are out shooting the Whale 14-11. And folks, in case you haven't noticed, the emote for the Connecticut Whale, I believe, is up So pop that in the chat. We finally got an emote for this Connecticut Whale team. Does that mean that they will get their first win of the season? There's been a correlation added every once in a while. We're testing out a theory here, Phil.
We'll see. Right now, the Whale just have to get goal number 1 and equalize this thing. Here's a pass in the slot. That was a good feed there by Evangelist as she had Kendra Broad, but Broad about a stride late. Now you have Brickner pinching all the way deep. Gotta like how aggressive the defenders are offensively for this Connecticut team to jump into play. And you have Broad with a try from the right side. Blocked in front. Shot put in on net, and Newman with the save on the rebound. Follow-up from Connecticut's Maddie Evangelist. 9:40 to go in the second period. Still 1-0 Beauts. More after this on Twitch. .9:40 to play in this second period. 1-0 Buffalo. Face-off will be in the Beauts end following the Newman save.
And Newman was jamming out to the music as she made her way to the crease.
It has been a good combination, a good meld of music from all generations here today, from what we heard during warm-ups before the broadcast started, and even the YMCA, the whole Village people here in the second period. 9:18 to go in the middle frame. Taylor Kersey with the game's lone goal. It came 31 seconds into this middle period on a little top-shelf jam job on a rebound. And here comes Buffalo with a chance, and it was swung on and missed at the crease by Erin Guillen. We've seen a couple of those from Buffalo. Brooke Stacy had one back in the first period where she tried to lean into a shot from the right wing circle and caught an edge. Whale looked to skate out of the Connecticut zone. Good work by Brickner to get through center ice and into the Buffalo end. Twitch fans, don't forget to keep throwing us some questions and comments your way in the chat. We are here for you. Well, we're here to call the game, but we're here specifically for you on Twitch, and the chat is such a primary part of it. So we need your questions and comments and just general thoughts so that we can get through the broadcast today, the only game in the NWHL. The Metropolitan Riveters off this week, as were the Whitecaps last night. It was Boston blowing out this Buffalo team by a score of 6-1. Back in the corner, Schwensfire looks to drop that off. Working a little wraparound try by Menigan off the side of the goal. Newman got a partial stick on that, and it's fed out to center ice. Well, Mariah Fujimagari had such a great game last night, Erica, but Newman showing that, maybe she deserves some extra ice time as well.
Well, we've seen this Buffalo Beauts team historically split time in the crease, including in, I guess that would have been the 2017 Isabel Cup final. And that was they were able to come away with that one.
Exactly. Well, last season we had, pair of national goaltenders, and the reason for that, but, before that, like you said, you would get that, chance for Evangelist, but the pass was just out of her reach. Coming down the left side, looked to feather a pass in front. Good work by Evangelist to hustle after that puck behind the net.
And to call it out to her teammate that there was an opportunity there, but didn't execute that time, but hopefully the team will be looking for things like that moving forward, Phil.
Great shift, by the way, from Evangelist as she stripped to Kersey in the neutral zone. Now it's Doyle in. Doyle gets dumped down to the ice. Quick shot from the circle, and standing tall was Newman to make that save.
Seen a few times now that Evangelist has gotten a shot on, but I'm curious curious if she's got a little more spice that she can put on that puck. I think she's been in a position to get something on net, but I think she's got a little more power that she can pack a punch, and that's what her team's going to need. Not from only her, but from anyone that's shooting on net, because Newman is standing tall.
Buffalo playing it out of the zone. Skiller 338 saying their 5-year-old daughter loved watching the WHL, the girls playing on TV. That's always great to hear. By the way, Abby, we've got, let's see, a Tier 1 subscription to Abby LaFleur. It is the first gift sub in the channel, which is fantastic to hear when you gift out subscriptions for Twitch Prime. And the Twitch is moving pretty, chat is moving pretty quickly, so I'm trying to read and keep up with it, and sometimes it moves even a little too quickly for me. But here come the Whale, quickly across the line, still down a goal. Forced to the corner was Jane Morissette. And now Buffalo with the puck out to center ice, tapped up the boards by Erin Guillen. Regained by Connecticut, banked out to the neutral zone, right on the tape on a feed over to Shannon Doyle. She'll lob it in on net. That one bounced, and Newman had to stop that with her stick. Tied up behind the net, Sarah Hewson looking, high slot, climb back with a shot, kicked away, and Newman with another save.
Newman's looking good, but Connecticut just not making these passes crisp enough to get the best shot the first time around.
Hall tried to get that in front. It deflects back, and the shot by Kleinbach was blocked. But Buffalo doing a really good job as well. When shots are getting through, you got Newman making saves, but the Beauts are also pretty handy at blocking as well, as Kleinbach walks in with a shot and another save by Newman.
Good job on Hall to keep that puck in the zone prior to that shot by Kleinbach.
Hewson had her stick lifted. Good work defensively by Kim Brown. Puck is cleared out to center ice. Hall with it. The outlet ahead. Emma Vlasic trying to center it. Nobody there. And coming back for it was Bowering. By the penalty boxes, lifted up the boards and skated across by Candace Sheriff. Drop pass. Bowering with a shot. Flashing the leather. A nice save by Shelley.
Flick of the wrist. Got it done there.
Trying to go on that far post side. Shelley with the glove on the left hand. And the faceoff will stay in the Connecticut zone.
And also a reminder, while we're engaging with everyone on Twitch, that subs here are a part of that revenue share that the NWHL has with its players. 50% of revenue come into the league will go to the player pool. So you're helping the league out, you're helping the players out.
Meanwhile, the Whale looking for some help. They need it offensively, trying to get this equalizing goal here on home ice. Connecticut looking for their first win. They do have a tie, or should I say an overtime loss. They tied Buffalo through regulation earlier in the season. That's their only point. A victory would put them in 4th place in the league. The Riveters with 2 points on the season. They have one victory in the campaign this year. The puck is cleared out to the neutral zone. A little tie up there. Schwensfire got knocked off the puck. The Beauts right back with it. Across the line, and Klimasova couldn't hang on to it. Kermova back at center ice will feed it into her own zone, and the rink-wide pass hits in front of the benches and lobbed ahead by Acursi. Can't gain the end, and now McPherson along the wing will take it across the Connecticut line. Goes around Schwensfire, then in the slot, and the shot was blocked as it was chanced there by Klimasova, and the Whale get a very fortunate clear.
Yeah, it looked like Shelley was trying to track that puck. It didn't get to her, but she was bouncing around. I think she lost it even after it was blocked, so good on the Whale to clear.
By the way, fans in the chat talking about will we see potential trades, and well, a very good point by Drake Smith 812. If it's a trade, it must involve the Whale.
Them's the rules.
I think it's now in the rule book. Is it in the official NWHL rule book? I don't know if it is. Apparently, the Riveters still owe Connecticut considerations for Marina Sorokin, that goaltender trade last year, where they were trying to basically find her a place to play, and it didn't end up really working out as well. She ended up getting hurt and missing some time. Didn't see a lot of action down the stretch either for the Riveters, as Fitzgerald from last season ended up kind of like regaining her job in what was a crazy campaign for Metropolitan off of their Isabel Cup championship. Here's a chance in the slot, and it was fired wide by Klimasova. You can see, Erica, the frustration from some of these players when they have good scoring chances. Klimasova just kind of threw her head up in the air.
Well, you know, there's some of that you want, never being satisfied, but you have to be able to contain it and make sure that you make good on your next opportunity, as Klimasova, I'm sure, will want to do.
Buckle on the right side. Hall with a blast and a hit off the side of the net. And along the left wing side, kept in by Brickner. Brickner, former Wisconsin and Colgate product, battling in the corner with 2:10 to play in the period. Had it stripped away. Vlasic will come after it. Steered up the wall to Hall. Lifted down the boards. No one behind the Buffalo net except for a Butte. And it's Kareem Bowie who takes control and drops it back. Little give and go. The puck stolen in the corner. Here's Grace Kleinbach. Kleinbach hands off to Brickner. Gets sidled off the puck there by Bowie with 1:50 to go in the second period. Kicked away, regained by Connecticut. Kleinbach at the blue line. Across to the right side. Hall with a drive, and it was off the mark. Hard slapper low, about an inch or two up off the ice. And the Beauts with it. Klimasova got it clear to center ice, but regained by Hall, waiting for her teammates to touch up. Shoots it in on the delayed offside, and Sarah Houston will come back in to lead the forecheck for Connecticut. Erica, by the way, moments from going downstairs, and Klimasova touching that with a high 6. She will not get a breakaway that time. By the way, last second chance, throw some questions out.
I was just going to say that. We should be hearing from someone from the Connecticut Whale camp, so just send those again for us, folks.
Drake Smith says, Whale fandom requires some modicum of sadness.
I saw that one, too.
It has been a bit of a struggle at times. Doyle with a shot from the point. Hard off the boards. Loose in behind. Shoveled ahead by Peltier of Buffalo, but kept alive nicely by Doyle. Unable to keep the zone. She'll backpedal out in neutral territory. Leads it ahead off the stick of the left wing of Kayla Menigan. She gets cut off, and Buffalo gets it clear as Orlando will hustle back for it. It will not be an icing here, as it's tied up in the corner. And Brooke Stacy trying to regain control of the puck against Orlando. A good DDD pass behind the net. And it's Doyle finding Menigan centered ahead. And here comes Schwenzfeier up the middle. Schwenzfeier with a step. Schwenzfeier is shot, and a save made by Newman. Big stop by Newman. There was a rebound, but it drifted wide of the net. And not a second chance was to be had that time for Connecticut. 30 seconds to go in the period. Buffalo started the first minute with a goal. Can the Whale get one in the final minute of the second period? They're still looking to get the equalizer, down 1-0. Butte skating across the line, led by Kim Brown. In the corner, cut off, 13 seconds to play. Good pinch there by Buffalo to keep that deep. Doyle has it tied up in her skates. Now skated over by the Whale. 5 seconds to go in the period, and then flung from the blue line down the length of the ice, and the horn will sound, ending the second period. So Taylor Acursi, 31 seconds in from Kermova and Klimasova, and that is the only goal after 40 minutes of play between the Whale and the Buffalo Beauts. Best Kessel run. Both goalies deserve stars so far. They do. Newman a perfect 17 of 17. Meanwhile, Sonia Shelley stopping 16 of 17 after 40 minutes of play. Tater Tot 24. Danbury looks nicer than Terry Connors for sure. I am biased. I love the Danbury Ice Arena. I think I mentioned it during the last period. I called Danbury Trashers games here for 2 seasons back in the early 2000s. I was their broadcaster. It was the first pro hockey team that I worked for. I loved my time here. I love the arena. It provides a great atmosphere. It is cold, like many rinks. That is one thing it does have, as many ice rinks do. But what you do get, especially on the side where we are, and I know you fans tuning in to the broadcast may wonder, well, you know, we see empty stands. The stands are not empty. We've got fans, quite a few of them behind us. This side of the rink, where Erica and I are, and the fans behind have a wonderful view of the ice. It's just a really great spot to watch a hockey game, and they made some renovations. There's new ownership of the arena during the past offseason. And they made some renovations to the concourse area. It's a bit more open. They put in a big giant kind of bar area. It's pretty cool. So if you can make it out to a game in person, definitely come on out and watch Selenic Dave. The Danbury Trashers incidentally had an interesting history. I know all of the history of the Danbury Trashers. Gal Pal Sports said that they met the trash can mascot once. It was great. The mascot is now a police officer in Stratford, Connecticut. That is what he does. He was in college at that point. Salite says advertising works. I want a chipwich. I want one too. Can someone bring me a chipwich? I'm kind of hungry. I really am. We're waiting, by the way, for Erica to set up with our second intermission guest. That's right, 18-year-old team president AJ Galante was the team president of the Danbury Trashers for the 2 seasons, and he was pretty responsible for signing a number of the players that played on the team. And it was a lot of fun working from my personal experience in Danbury and traveling all over and calling hockey games from some very interesting places. Meanwhile, it's been an interesting game here after 40 minutes of play, a 1-0 score, with the lone goal coming 31 seconds in, a Kersey from Kermova and Klimasova. And we've got a little dancing exhibition that you guys, folks of all types watching at home, watching in the background. And Bonnie's wants to know what a chipwich is. And Bonnie's, a chipwich is the greatest thing ever made. It really is. It's ice cream in between 2 luscious and delicious chocolate chip cookies. It was an old-time snack, talking back in the early 80s, and they just resurrected the brand about a year or so ago, and they are a huge sponsor of the NWHL, so buy them early and often. All right, we're set to send it downstairs. Erica has our second intermission guest.
Here with forward for the Connecticut Whale, Casey Anderson. So we've seen that you've gotten a few shots, but you and your team haven't been able to get on the board yet. What do you think you need to see in the next period?
I think we just need to finish our plays. We're getting a lot of odd man rushes, 3-on-2s, 2-on-1s. We've had like 5 breakaways. We just need to put it in the net and be confident in our shots.
And specifically on the power play, we got a question from our viewers about what you think the Connecticut Whale can do better on the power play.
I think communication is a big thing for us. We need to communicate out there. We need to get the puck deep, establish our play, not take a penalty on the power play.
That helps. And then finally, we got another question in the feed. You've been with this team for a little while, but how do you like being here in Danbury?
I like this rink. Danbury's nice. They're very supportive to us, so it's great to be here in this community.
All right, well, Casey Anderson and her ponytail will be back for the third period.
From our friends from the
Well, the Connecticut Whale are returning to the ice, and here comes Kelsey Newman to lead her Butte squad out onto the ice for the third period. Having a high five and a hug with her teammate, Mariah Fujimagari, who is heavily worked out last night, facing over 50 shots to the Boston Pride. Unofficially, the shots after 40 minutes are 25-14 in favor of Buffalo, Erica, but the Beauts have it where it counts most. On the scoreboard, they lead 1-0.
That's right, and we were able to see them get a gritty goal, but now it's Connecticut that's going to look to see if they can get one of their own. We've seen a few predictions. I asked some question in the thread. A few predictions. I don't know if we'll see 9 more goals, but it seems consensus.
Oh, there's a loose puck in front. Sprawling out was Shelley. An early chance by Erin Guillen, and she could not get that one through.
Consensus is that we might get another 2, so that we almost got 1 right there.
Another 2, perhaps realistic. So yeah, like you said, someone had a 10-3, and we'd have to strap in. I mean, that would be a wild period.
Yeah.
So that would go up as one of the wildest periods in the history of either team, if it ends up being a 10-3 game.
I would say so. I think the only other wild game I've seen, I'd heard Rochester thrown out there a few times, is that wild game of penalty in minutes when it was a neutral site game, Riveters and the Beauts.
That was like the opening. Was that 2 years ago that opened the season? 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah.
And, that was crazy, and they played up in Rochester. Here's a shot from the wing that tickles off the side of the net, played back up the wall, and Bustad will hold it in as we are 70 seconds into period at number 3. Buffalo finally seeing some good zone time. They do have the goal, but they haven't had a lot of zone time in this game.
That's something that Connecticut's been able to do, is disrupt them, but now they need to make good on their chances.
And Megan DeLay's point shot is gloved by Shelley. So a face-off coming in the Connecticut zone. Someone, by the way, posted on the link to the Taylor Kersey goal from earlier. So if you're just joining us on Twitch, you can get the highlight in the chat of the game's only goal.
We're seeing that there is some conversation happening with Elena Orlando, one of the captains, alternate captains here. There was also some conversation that happened at the end of last period. So look to see if these teams get a little spicy. Both of them may be feeling that there's some calls that they didn't get that should be coming their way.
Someone asked earlier, like when Colton Orr finally, I don't want to say, like you said, he's coached some practices, but he has not been behind the bench. And, what differences may we see with Colton Orr as a head coach? As Mennigan looking out in front, pass was broken up by Bustad, intended for Sarah Schwensfire. Colton Orr was a very physical player in the National Hockey League during his pro career. I don't know if that means it's going to translate to how he coaches, but, sometimes coaches will look to fit the identity of, their playing experience if the coach was an ex-player. So maybe that's what we see, but I think we just have to kind of wait and find out.
That's an interesting point, something that has been raised in the thread before, but also I think that this is a Connecticut team, maybe not so much in years past, in the last 2 seasons in particular, but this year, I think this is a team that can get a little more physical than we're used to seeing this Connecticut Whale franchise.
It's a little bit more of a veteran squad. I think that kind of helps their familiarity with the league, and also a little bit bigger, I think, in terms of size. A little bit of chippiness certainly will help them as well. And, what's interesting is when you don't have, although the Whale have been able to score some goals this season, when you kind of lack certain elements in your game, you're not a big skill team, you don't, score goals in bucket loads like the Boston Pride do. Sometimes playing that kind of, physical game to slow the opposition down will help. On the flip side, you tend to take more penalties, and the Whale have had trouble on the PK, although tonight they're 2 for 2.
Yes, indeed. It is definitely a give and take there, and something that perhaps why we haven't seen that physicality much is because that does take, as you said, a veteran presence and a finesse to it. And also sometimes you have to take or give up a professional foul. And I think that there have been times where this Connecticut team has maybe been hesitant to do that. But sometimes you got to throw the weight around, Phil. Let them know you're serious.
Well, Tater Top brings up a good point. Megan Huertas was the most physical Whale player ever. We get a penalty. We start start talking physical stuff
and
we get penalties.
This is a team, a franchise that's had Babstock. That's a hot take, but
yeah,
also
I was about to say, wait a minute, Kelly Babstock was around
Fratkin
for
was
3
on
years.
this
Yep,
team.
year one.
But since we mentioned Megan, I just want to say, Megan Huertas.
There you go. I knew that was coming as soon as I saw that come up from Tater Tot 24 in the chat. By the way, Klimasova with her second body checking penalty.
Huertas, my fellow Cuban. I love saying that name, so thank you, Tater Tot, for invoking Megan Huertas. Got to roll the R's and S's.
No chance. I mean, you know, she ever came out of retirement, Erica, you would be in your glory.
Oh, for
sure. As Brickner with it at the center point to the right side here. A little give and go at Vlasic. And now back up top to the captain. Wrist shot into the corner. And Vlasic waiting for that puck. Down low to Kleinbach. Took a bit of a shove. Now looking for Vlasic. Pitch back straight away. And Brickner will feed it over to Doyle. Doyle from the sharp angle. The backdoor pass was there for Emma Vlasic, and it hopped off the heel of her stick. Ooh, that net was wide open. And now it's Vlasic again, cutting to the net, looking backdoor for Kleinbach. And you see what the Whale are doing here. They're trying to get pucks below the circle and go backdoor on these passes. And the Beauts have let 2 through so far on this power play, but the other end on not connecting for Connecticut.
And you know, they don't have Colton Orr, but they do have Brennan, a goalie that's on that bench. And so if you're picking up something and you've got a goalie coach that's helping you decide and maneuver on your game plan, that's good for the Connecticut Whale, and I think they've noticed something on Newman there.
Here's a quick shot that was drifted wide off of the stick of Sarah Houston. 48 left to the penalty on Buffalo. This is Connecticut's third power play. From the point, Orlando got one through, and it was stick to side. That might have been partially deflected in front by Sarah Houston, trying to get that tip play at the top of the crease. Houston kicks that puck up along the boards. Taylor Marchand trying to feed it back to her right. You've got those 2 green sweaters digging in and now hammered out of the zone. That was really good work by Megan DeLay to win that battle, and then the Beauts send it down.
That was cleared with authority, I'd say.
That's a slapper across, and now here comes Connecticut from left to right. Across the line, Kendra Broad in the slot. Drop pass, Mennigan to the slot with a race shot, and a good save made by Kelsey Newman. Had a little bit of a toe drag as the puck is cleared out to center ice. Fed back the other way. Orlando got hammered, and that's going to be another penalty on the Buffalo Beauts.
The sheriff in town and giving Orlando the business there.
Oh, she right in front of us, too.
Oh, man. Orlando was not happy. I mean, skates up, took that shot from Sheriff. But she'll have to put the pistol down for now.
Here's the thing. Body checking as a legal play is not something that's allowed in women's hockey. It's a penalty. I will say if it ever was allowed in the NWHL, these 2 teams are pretty well prepared for
it. I'd say.
The Beauts in particular.
Yeah, they've put some hurting on this Connecticut team this afternoon.
Sheriff and Klimasova throwing the body around. Well, the Whale haven't made them pay, and that's part of it, too.
Well, and so they're going to keep hitting them and let the bodies hit the floor, as the song goes.
Oh, good clear. Now Kersey sprinting up the middle. She's going to get to that puck. Here's a Kersey on her stick, lifted. Oh, what a save by Sonia Shelley. And then it was a barrel play into the goaltender as Shelley was knocked down by Shannon Doyle. That was an amazing play on both sides. One by Doyle to get in the way of a Kersey, and Shelley with a great save.
My goodness, and Kersey coming with all kinds of speed towards Sonia Shelley, as we'll get the replay here. And you see that Doyle trying to lift that stick at the last moment. She was somewhat successful, but Shelley saw it all the way and then took the hit from her own defender.
You cannot underestimate how well Doyle played that, because I'll be honest, 99 times out of 100, that's a hooking penalty or a penalty shot. And for Doyle to be able to play that clean with a perfect stick lift, you do not see that very often at any level. So a great play by Shannon Doyle.
That's what you get with a 5-timer there, Phil.
You do, an all-star for the first time last season, improving her offensive game year over year. She leads the team with 6 points on a goal. Whale with it behind the net. Wraparound try was denied by Newman. That was Brickner working behind the goal.
And you mentioned Doyle leads the team in points, but that's mostly from assists, her being able to get that shot down low and have her teammates either tip it in or you know, pot it in off a rebound.
Buffalo gets it clear after a Newman blocker save. Under a minute to go, and the penalty on Sheriff, with the Whale trailing 7 minutes into this third period, 1-0. Puck out in the neutral zone. They pitchfork for control. It was Vlasic trying to get to it. Sarah Bustad, though, wins that puck battle and sends it clear. So Shelley out of the crease. You have Marchin with Orlando, along now with Casey Anderson, joined by Grace Kleinbach, who's out there now with the puck, and rounding out the group, Kayla Menigan, as Kleinbach trying to dislodge that puck, but a good job by Ashley Birdsall to shoot it in. 13 seconds now remaining in the Buffalo penalty. Outlet ahead. Schwensfire will deflect that in. It goes on net, so Newman will play it over to her left for delay. And now the Whale are 0 for 4 on the power play today. So while the penalty kill is improved, the power play is not, and there will be another penalty as Elena Orlando had the stick slashed out of her hands.
Well, as I mentioned, there was something that happened in between periods, and predicted it might get spicy, and indeed it has. It's Sheriff putting down the pistol once more.
Yeah, I mean, right back to the penalty box.
Pew, pew.
Her seat didn't even get cold.
My goodness.
And that happens quickly in this building. It is a cold rink. Oh, yes. they're gonna get both sides. Menigan's gonna go to the box as well. So it looks like we see matching penalties on both Connecticut and Buffalo, and it's going to be a slashing penalty on Buffalo and an interference on Connecticut's Kayla Menigan. So we get 4-on-4 for a full 2 minutes for the first time.
So now this is an opportunity with a little bit more open ice for both teams to see if they can capitalize.
Here's the thing, in the first period, while the Whale didn't convert, they were definitely the better skating team, I thought, through the first 20 minutes of play. They outshot Buffalo 13-4, and they generally moved the puck pretty well, especially through the neutral zone. And you saw Anderson, who had the puck briefly. She was one of the better skaters, but now gives it up. Here's an odd skater rush. Good drop pass, but stolen by Connecticut. Here's that open ice Erica was talking about. Sent up the middle as Brickner tried to get a step ahead, but well played by Megan DeLay. And DeLay has a poke checked away in the neutral zone. Great job by Brickner. Brickner in across the line. Handed off to Shara Schwensfire. And Schwensfire walking in front with a shot. Bouncing puck, and Newman there to hold on to things with 11:26 left in regulation.
What an amazing setup that was by Brickner, able to win the puck in the neutral zone, and then Schwensfire just bodying her way, Phil, through the Buffalo Beauts defense in order to get a shot up on Newman. Now, what I would have liked to see, though, is have some trailing players give Newman some trouble and have her thinking about that far post and be able to collect that rebound.
Minute 10 left in the 4-on-4. Doyle trying to hop around Rochelle Skorboski, got knocked down, and it's Buffalo with the puck in behind their net. Now skating ahead with it. Here's Acursi with it. Taylor Acursi in across the Connecticut line. Fans on a pass attempt to the left wing side, and here come the Whale from left to right. Shoveled ahead as Houston tried to knife that down. Vlasic found her in front, and good save there. Puck wrapped around back to the blue line. Here's Doyle. Wines shoots it off the end wall, looking for an angle, and now Elena Orlando will poke it down the wall. And here's Sarah Houston in the corner. Gets tied up as the puck comes over to Acursi and tried to play it around the net. Does so and finds Skorboski. Cleared but not out. Stolen by Doyle. Shot through traffic, ends up in the netting with no further play. 10:29 left in the third. Still a 1-0 game.
Connecticut's showing us that they're a team that they can put some things together. Again, they have a little more space now with two players in the box, so it's 4v4 on the ice. And Connecticut's looking good. They just got to get that finishing touch.
Well, as Tater Tot 24 said, Newman is a beast. They're glad they got to see her play this game, as Kleinbach had a chance at point-blank range, but there was Newman again sprawling out, doing the splits to keep that puck away.
And we're seeing the brick wall emote here.
Here's a chance in the slot. A shot save made. Another stop is Kleinbach. Had a great scoring opportunity. Back to 5-on-5. Marching with a drive and a sacrificial block that time by Brooke Stacy. Connecticut keeping the zone. Slap pass down behind the net as Marchand found Kendra Broad, but out of her reach. And now it is skated through the neutral zone by number 8, Klimasova, and the backhand shot going wide. Kendra Broad back along the far wing, gets stripped. Here's MJ Peltier looking in the slot. A backhand shot from the top of the crease, and a good stop by Sonia Shelley, who has not faced a lot of shots here in this third period. Great skating here by McPherson. Shoveled out in front, and Shelley will hold on with 9:24 left to go in this third period. We'll be back in a minute, but right now you're watching the NWHL on Twitch. Well, some good comments coming from the chat. Jolly Whiskey wants to know, what is it going to take to put the Whale over the edge and win a game? Well, they need to get an equalizer here. The penalty kill for the season has been bad, but you know what? It's been good today, 2 for 2. They just need to find a way to convert on the power play. They're 0 for 4 tonight.
Yeah, Casey Anderson talked about that a little bit, but just taking chances, making sure that you're sticking with it, but getting shots on net.
Well, here's a chance. A little give and go out in front, and a good save made again by Newman, as cutting to the top of the crease was Brickner, and the rebound was swept aside away from the reach of a follow-up shot on goal.
Well, one thing I'll say that Connecticut can improve upon is that last touch by Brickner. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be a shot or a pass, but if that was supposed to be a shot on Newman, you got to put a little more sting on it than that. And I think there have been a few shots that the Connecticut Whale haven't gotten their full weight behind.
Goaltenders, it'd be great if we had the goalie guild on for this one to talk about it, but Newman's been really good at covering the bottom part of the net. She's kind of long, has some good size. She's able to cover that bottom half. So you have to lift pucks. We saw those chances back in the first period where she did leave the top part of the net open.
Yeah.
But the bottom, then you said get a little bit more sting, but also probably get a little bit more lift as well when you're from point blank range, because otherwise you're shooting it right onto the pad, and even if you shoot it pretty hard, it's not often going to be enough. The only goal in this game was a top shelfer for McCursey.
That's right.
Puck at the blue line, good keep in by Buffalo, swung out of the zone by Sarah Hewson, and we may get an icing coming up here. Racing back for it is Skarboski for the touch. So the face-off will come back the other way. The Kit Kat is right. The Beauts getting saved big time in the third thanks to Numi. That is correct. I 100% agree there. And Kay McKenna 8 says the Whale need to shoot high. Yeah, that's...
There you go.
Absolutely. Our fans are smart. We've got great fans in Twitch on the chat today. They know their hockey. Chipped across the line by Houston. Got upended off the puck. A Kersey in the neutral zone, regained by Orlando. Little pressure there on the back check, and Hannah Beatty couldn't get to that puck as it stumped in. But here's Shannon Doyle for Connecticut, looking to move it up the wall past Klimasova. Klimasova, aside from throwing the body around, pretty solid defensively. And now through the neutral zone, here comes Kleinbach. Kleinbach on an angle, but a shot that was broken up. Good job by Peltier to cut in front, and we've got a little bit of a spillage behind the net as 3 players fell down. But coming over now, Kendra Broad for the Whale. Out toward the blue line, settled down by Erin Hall. Worked around the boards. There comes Maddie Evangelist trying to push it up the wall with 7:20 to go. Broad with it along the half wall. Tied up by two blue sweaters. A little pinch along the left side by Brickner. And here come the Whale down low with it. Shot by Broad. Short side. Save made by Newman. Puck batted around a little bit and gathered up by Evangelist, who feeds it to Brickner and now to Hall. Hall winds, fires a shot. Big block by Klimasova. Bouncing, and the puck stays in the zone for Evangelist. Looks to get it back. Oh, big shovel on the wall. And Evangelist stayed on her feet. That could have been a body check had she gone down. Not able to sell that one, as it was the Buffalo player who ended up falling. And now here's Klimasova in across the Connecticut line, going rink wide. No one there. And Aaron Hall has it now for the Whale. All out through the neutral zone, racing it across the line. The Whale will make a change. Newman with it, gave it up instead of settling the puck down, but Hall couldn't get to that for a rebound chance.
She kept coming.
A little interference out in the neutral zone. McPherson with a toe drag, shooting one. That went through the legs of Beatty, and a good save by Shelley in traffic. Now a chance out front. Kicked away. Put it on net by Stacy. And a second chance out in front. They score. And Buffalo takes a 2-0 lead on the rebound. It looked like Erin Guillen with the tally.
And you see that the Connecticut team is definitely frustrated by that. Sonia Shelley coming up big for her team in that sequence, but it was the rebounds. She couldn't slide back into position, and that rebound just floated right over her shoulder, top shelf, far post, to make it a 2-0 game in favor of the Buffalo Beauts.
First goal in the NWHL for Erin Guillen, her third point of the season. Brooke Stacy with the assist on that goal. A tough break for Connecticut. You know, one of those games where you see 1-0 and you're like, the next goal may prove to be the difference maker. And right now it may be with 6 minutes to play. Any thoughts from the chat? Do you think the Whale get one here? Does Newman keep the brick wall up? She's been pretty good. Buffalo, as is normally the case, dramatically being outshot. The scoreboard does not indicate, I think, the reality of what fans are looking at if you see the box score where the accurate stats are kept. Kleinbach will chip it in. Looks to get to it in the corner. Collides there with Skarboski. And McPherson will take it in behind her own net. Buffalo looking to manage a split of the weekend. They're the team playing back-to-back games. The Whale haven't played since October 27th, so you would think they're refreshed and ready and have had their chances. But Newman, the refreshed goaltender, because she did not play yesterday, has been fantastic. Brickner through center. In across the Buffalo line, makes a move to her left, but without the puck, gets it back. Looks to feed it up the boards. It bounces over. And now from the wing shot. Hit off her teammate in the circle. Pinballing around a bit. Big scrum in front. They score! A bit of traffic at the top of the crease, and the Whale get one back with 4:55 left to play. Still plenty of hockey left in this one. And coming out of the scrum is Kayla Mennigan with her third goal of the season.
And we see that the Buffalo Beauts are definitely talking. There was a lot happening in front of Kelsey Newman, but ultimately it's Mennigan and the Connecticut Whale that are able to get on the board as we see so far. But it's Mary Jo Peltier making sure she goes over to Newman and saying, hey, we're still in this. We got time. We're still in the lead.
We'll wait for the goal announcements, because Mennigan, while she was the last to touch it, here's Casey Anderson putting it on net, and a save by Newman. Basically half of the ice, half of the teams were out there in front of the net, so hard to see who gave the puck to who, but Erica's got your replay covered.
So we see that Newman, she looked like she was trying to glove that one, but didn't cover it. Went to play that as though she were a shortstop, you know, in softball or baseball, and went with her glove to scoop as opposed to cover it up, and didn't really see from that replay definitively who was the last Whale player to touch it. But Kelsey Newman might want that one back.
It is a goal for Kayla Mennigan, so that is her third goal of the season. And the Whale will play it through center. So those two goals coming about 1:17 apart. And the first one was from Guillen and then Mennigan. And here's a saucer pass up top. Orlando, backdoor pass. No one there. It was intended for Anderson. And now a pass up ahead. They're giving McPherson credit for the goal from Guillen. We'll see if that changes. Here's a sharp angle try. Loose out in front. And a penalty coming. It's going to be on Connecticut. Touched up in front.
21, Sarah Schwenspear.
Now Schwenspear getting credited with the goal.
Time of the goal, 15 minutes, 5 seconds. Schwenspear from Mennigan at 15:05.
Okay, we'll see if that holds. I don't know if that's 100% the case, but again, there were so many people out in front.
And, you know, when I looked at the replay, it looked like Mennigan was facing the opposite way, but I didn't see her stick look like it was, you know, back wristing towards Newman. So we'll have to look at it again. But either way, someone from Connecticut scored.
That's what matters. And it's a penalty on Buffalo. It was a little confusing. It's a backdoor shot from Emma Vlasic, hit off the side of the net. With the way that delayed penalty was called, they whistled it when the Whale touched the puck.
It did look like that.
So,
but
yeah.
also, I'm not recalling, it might have been Doyle who was the last to touch that. She kind of was handling the puck, though, as though she wasn't clear she was supposed to stop play.
So 16-12, time of the penalty on Erin Guillen. And the face-off controlled by Buffalo and cleared out of the zone.
2 minutes for cross-checking.
Already we're seeing in the chat some folks wanting overtime.
You may get it. The Whale will see if they can score on their 5th power play. Beatty toward the corner. On a pass for Vlasic. Poked in behind the goal. Little give and go back to the right side. Vlasic there to the blue line for Doyle. Moves it to the left side. Little hot off the stick of Brickner. And Buffalo got it clear. A hit off of Sheriff. So instead of the puck going all the way down, the Whale able to retrieve it in the neutral zone. And that allows Shannon Doyle to break out from left to right. Now to Vlasic. Drops the shoulder. Has an angle. Cuts around the net. Pass out in the slot. Big drive by Marchand. Save is made, though, by Newman. And the only way the Whale were able to get one was to have a whole mass of humanity in front of Kelsey Newman as we're down to 50 seconds in the power play. Here's Marchand racing in, shooting one. She was looking to go high, and it was touched nearly with a high stick. And finally whistled down with 2:36 to go. Faceoff will come out to center ice.
I see some folks in the thread talking that they like these jerseys, sick threads we got on the ice. Well, if you like what you see, folks, head over to the Loyalist. That's where the NWHL merch can be found. You can also reach that through nwhl.zone, and players get 15% from jersey and jersey sales with their name on it.
Whale win the faceoff. You can pick your favorite player. You can pick a number out of a hat and buy that player's jersey if you feel like you just want to go for it. Here's a chance by Marchand off the boards, regained by Schwenspear, who for the moment has been credited with the Connecticut Whale goal. Here's a chance, top of the crease, and the Whale can't jam it through. Good clear by Buffalo. Acursi turns on the Jets, but Marchand, who had quite the head start, gets back to that puck. They continue to battle with 10 seconds remaining in the Whale power play. They're about to go 0 for 5 in the advantage this afternoon. They've had their chances, and they have not been able to convert on the advantage. Back to 5-on-5 hockey, and now Laura Brennan might have to think about pulling the goaltender, although having the edge in that department maybe hasn't done much for them.
You see Shelley's coming out. She's ready.
She's between the circles, and Buffalo gets a clear out, so she'll have to backpedal deep. 3-on-1 rush here. Pass to the slot, the shot. Big save by Shelley. Great chance by Guillen. And now here come the Whale out through the neutral zone at 2-on-2. They'll take it in across the line. Mennigan's out in front, cutting to the net. The pass never got to the crease. Minute 15 to go. Empty net to our left. So the Whale have the extra attacker in. Buffalo looking to get it clear. They get it out to center ice with their 2-1 lead. Empty net there as Brown hops around Kleinbach. Looks to the open net. She scores! And it's 3-1 Buffalo with 62 seconds to go.
Well, winner chicken dinner to whomever said 3-1. At least for the next minute and 2 seconds.
18:58, time of the goal for Kim Brown. Kim Brown with her second goal of the season. Tough break for the Whale. Still searching, Erica, for that first victory of the year.
Well, we've seen that, you know, at least in Boston, we saw 2 goals in, what was it, 12 seconds?
Yeah.
Who says it can't happen again?
It can. Well, the Whale came right back after Buffalo made it 2-0 to get that first goal on the board to even put them in a position to get the equalizer. So Kim Brown with the goal. And they will give Kermova her second assist.
Yeah, Chermova has had a good game. She's had a really good game for the Buffalo Beauts, Chermova has.
Yep, she has, along with Klimasova, as the puck is cleared back the other way. 30 seconds to go. Buffalo with it in the Whale zone. That's where they kind of want it. Chipped out to center. And now Emma Vlasic will take it, the former Yale captain. Just dumps it up the board. She'll get whistled here for an icing with 17.4 to go.
As we have this time, folks, who are your 3 stars? We'll get them here in the arena soon, but curious to hear who you think has made an impression on this game.
My opinion would be Newman. Honestly, number 1 star of the game at this point in my book. Point shot was blocked. Whale get it out to center. Here's Kleinbach. Kleinbach racing in. Loose puck in the slot. Quick shot was blocked in front. That was Sarah Hewson. 2 seconds to go. Puck in the corner, and the game is over. The buzzer sounding, and Connecticut falls at home. 3-1 to Buffalo, as the Beauts are now 4-3 for the season. Connecticut falls to 0-5-1, and they remain in 5th place in the NWHL.
And it's Kelsey Newman gets the win. Not quite the shutout. I made sure not to mention anything on the broadcast, but we don't have a shutout yet, Phil.
No, we don't.
So that remains. Who will be the first goalie to get a shutout? Will we see a shutout this season?
You know, I'm not sure if we will. I mean, it's been, you know, both, and it's not because of poor goaltending. I think we've seen some really good goaltending in the league this season, but, you know, just a little bit more open ice. It's been definitely a lot more of a north-south game. Both teams getting chances. It's been entertaining.
Yeah, for sure. So we are not going to have a player interview as the players are coming off of the ice, but Kelsey Newman definitely will be someone that and we have a few other members of the media that are here that I'm sure will talk to Newman after getting this win, as we see the Connecticut Whale salute the crowd. And thank you for those fans that are joining us here on Twitch TV and the ones that are here at Danbury Ice Arena.
Yeah, and you look at the final numbers here, 41-26 shots for the Connecticut Whale. So Kelsey Newman, 39 saves in this, or check that, sorry, 40 saves in this game. So 40 save night, you know, just a fantastic effort by her. And what she really did to me, you know, the Whale had some good chances in the third period, but really what it boiled down to is how things were in the first period, because the Whale got off with a lot of spark, a lot of jump to their game, couple odd skater chances, couple of yawning open nets, and Newman either made the save or caught a bit of a break, caught a little bit of puck luck in those first 20 minutes. We could have seen a little bit of a different game. You know, and conversely, too, Buffalo had their chances because it was a bit of a track meet in the first 20 minutes of play.
Yeah, indeed. But it's the Buffalo Beauts that get the win. Connecticut still looking for their first win, and both teams will be in action next weekend.
They will. Why don't you run down the matchups for us?
Yeah, so next weekend, I believe it's Connecticut in Boston. And then the Riveters, who were mentioned earlier, they actually don't play until the end of this month, Phil.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they've gotten an extended break coming out of the break. But so we have next weekend, yes, Connecticut is at Boston, and then we have Minnesota against Buffalo. So Buffalo will be hosting Minnesota. That's going to be a good matchup.
That will be.
Because that's the 2 and 3 team right there vying for that top 2 spot. For a top 2 spot, I should say.
It'll be fun. Yeah, I mean, right now Boston, they're running and hiding, but as you and I both know, finishing in first place in the league doesn't really necessarily translate into a championship all the time.
Oh yeah, we know that for sure. We know that for sure. And again, you know, this is a Buffalo team that, regardless of where they finish, they've always made it to the final. I keep saying it just because I find it a little unbelievable, quite honestly.
Yeah.
But all that said, we have never had a back-to-back champion.
Nope.
We haven't had anyone repeat as champion in the NWHL. So it's really wide open, Phil.
Yeah, and Boston looking for their first title since year 1 of the league, when they had the only multi-game final series down in New Jersey as they defeated Buffalo. What was a wild 2-game series. That first game ending on the penalty shot with hand over the puck in overtime, and seeing that game end the way it did. You don't see that happen all too often, and the only time you had that, now you have one and done. Much different world in the NWHL, and it's kind of like that, a little bit of a marathon to a sprint type of thing, and it's exciting. It really is.
100%. Well, glad to have you back, Phil.
Thank you so much. I think the next time I'm with you will be Sunday, December 1st. Should be a fun one early next month, and I know you've been working with Michael Zahn, and we're glad to have him aboard as well, and I'm glad to get back on the mic of an NWHL game and enjoy talking with everyone on Twitch today. They're the best fans in hockey, so it's been great.
Without question.
Okay, well, that'll do it. Here from the Danbury Arena, our final score once again, it was Buffalo 3, the Connecticut Whale 1. For Erica Ayala, I'm Phil Jubileo saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your day. You've been watching the NWHL on Twitch.